Alright, so a little bit of an update. I've got that pocket in where it's supposed to be. That's my weld seam, and I covered it with rust-proof primer, or rust encapsulating primer. So it looks good enough to hold on there for now. Like I said, this is just the beginning. I've got to get this done so I can get the steering column and brakes, so that way I can get this thing off and really go to town on the cab. So got another little piece I got to replace in here, and that's fine because I have to make the exact same panel to go right here, and that's not really that big. It's 18 gauge, and it just has to slide up underneath here. It has to slide back behind here. I put this rosette a little close to the edge, so that one's going to be interesting, but I have more than enough room to get back here and then back here, and then it slides underneath here about a ½ inch or so. So gotta get that done. And right now what I'm working on is closing in my A-pillar. And what I did was I put this up against it and then cut both of them at once. And these blades are like 40 thousandths thick, and you can buy these little cheap ass clamps from Harbor Freight, and they're about the same thickness in here, and then they have a little block on the backside that holds them in. So I've got those holding my gap to the right distance, and of course none of these panels ever fit right, so I'm gonna have to do a pie cut in there and push that in, and then put a couple spots in there, and then down at the bottom I'm gonna have to do the same thing and slice it up from here to follow that line, and push this in, and then tack the two together and make it nice and even. But I mean, for what it is for right now, that's more than enough to hold it. And I already painted it, but there's a bunch of spot welds all through here. Then there's some underneath, and then these two, they're actually holding this mount, and this guy is, what is he? I think it's 12 gauge, 14 gauge, but this is the bottom mounting hole for the fender. So it goes right here, and I put it where it was originally because I did measure it when I took it off. But then when I go and I look at the driver's side, this thing is spaced back like a good 3/8 of an inch. I can put a couple fingers behind there, and I can't do that on this side. But on here, I mean, all of this stuff, it lines up. So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but I guess only time will tell if I got to cut this thing back apart when I go to adjust sheet metal. But for what it is, that guy is fitting. So I'm going to go ahead and start, tack, 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 and then just go along and fill in the gap. So that way I can make one solid panel. And then I can take these guys and unscrew them, and then there's a block that falls out from the back, and then this thing will just slide out, and then I can continue on with my series of tacks. So, and that'll get my A-pillar back into one piece. And it's been, I mean, I've had these two holes, but this inner pocket has been gone, that's been gone. The hole that this guy was at was there, but everything from there down was gone. And this guy, I mean, you can probably see how nasty he is. I just threw a coat of rust inhibiting primer on him and set him out in the sun for a little bit, but he's real yucky. But I mean, he's still solid, so I figured why not. So, but that's it really. So it's lined up in this direction, lined up in that direction. It's going to take a little bit of fettling with it to get it just right, but for what it is, I mean, that's not too awful bad, especially for some hick that doesn't know what he's doing in his backyard. I mean, I'm an ASE Master Tech. I am not a body guy. Body guys, this is like voodoo magic to me. So, and I got out of that and went to school to become a machinist, so I know something about that. Not too much, enough to get myself in trouble. But body work, this is just whoa. But I guess, even if I screw it up, The fender comes all the way down here, and then the door covers from here, so you're not going to see any of this stuff. You know, it's just me being, I guess, over dramatic. But I want it to look nice, so I'll keep going.